talking. Carlton Cole, by the way, was given his debut by Fabio Capello, an Italian, of course, a foreigner. Carlton, as a black person, as a black man, it saddens me to hear the way you're talking. Like I've said this before, football is probably the only sector of society where I went from strict to stricto, strict. Understand? Only person I owe is myself. Strict. Oh.
From nowhere. I can't.
Well, not really from nowhere, Coley. But
well, I'm not having.
What's wrong? Why are you looking like that?
Because it's got to be, for me, and I'm saying this, it's got to be an Englishman. Has to be. Has to be.
Well, it's not.
But it has to be. It has to be an English. An Englishman has to step up, and the FA have to give it to an Englishman. I thought the FA would give it to an Englishman.
Look,
I know people say no, we ain't got good. We're not good enough, but how are we going to get good enough? And I think it goes into other things, as in we've got too many foreign managers in the Premier League.
Right.
Yeah, that's got the top jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't produce anything elite because we're not given a chance to produce anything elite. If you understand, if you go to other countries in their leagues, German league, there's probably majority are German coaches.
Yep.
Go to Spanish league, probably the majority are Spanish.
I don't know the stats, but I'm guessing you're right. I'm guessing you're right.
Go to Italy, it's going to be more majority Italians.
I'm guessing you're right.
In the top league, in the Premier League.
Yes.
But because the Premier League is so advanced and so rich, we can afford to give the best foreign managers contracts.
Well, the best managers in the world
to come and be in the Premier League.
Right. So that's
it's good for the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, but it's bad for our national team and it's bad for our coaches and our managers that are aspiring to get to the top.
It's a sad indictment on St George's Park and the FA that they have had to go this route. But the truth is,
that was Carlton Cole talking. For those of you who don't know, listen, I want to make this as brief as possible. I don't really want to go into detail and all of that kind of stuff. But that was Carlton Cole talking. Carlton Cole, by the way, was given his debut by Fabio Capello, an Italian, of course, a foreigner. Carlton, as a black person, as a black man, it saddens me to hear the way you're talking. Like I've said this before, football is probably the only sector of society where we can still talk about people as foreigners and non-English and sort of get behind a train of I don't want to use the word hate, but okay, that's the only word that comes to my mind. That we can still hate on non-English people, while the English Premier League is owned by Arabs, Americans, or teams in the English Premier League, Arabs, Americans, you name it, different, certainly the top teams, are still are owned by foreign owners. We don't seem to have a problem with that. Players in our teams in your respective Premier Leagues have foreign players. Every transfer window we call out for top players to come and play for our team, and no one seems to have a problem with that. Listen, I understand Thomas Tuchel is German. I understand the history between England and Germany, the World War and all of those sort of stuff. But I don't have to say this. This is easy to say, actually, but I don't have to say it. But the world has moved on. I didn't see any complaints by the same English media when Steve McLaren was appointed Jamaica's manager or head coach. I don't see any problem when Switzerland took Roy Hodgson as their head coach. Like, listen, the game has moved on. You've just chased one young, promising English manager out of the game, Gareth Southgate. You just chased him out. I'm trying to understand what all of this is about. And I'll get back to the Carlton Cole business. Listen, and I say this respectfully, but we talk about opportunities, bro. Black managers aren't even getting opportunities, and as a black person, you can't see the irony in you sitting on national radio station saying what you're saying. Like, you sound like an idiot. You really, really sound like an idiot. Like, bruv, if you really felt that way about a foreign manager taking control of the national team, then you should have declined your caps when Fabio Capello gave you the opportunity. You should have declined it and said, nah, until I get an Englishman, I'm not playing for England. Bro, it's rich. It's rich seeing this from so many people like Carlton Cole and all these other guys, medias, pundits. It's rich. Ericsson just died the other day. All of you was glazing over his death. All of you. One of the best guys, in football, proper football man, or this or that. We're all mourning this guy just for not even a month. His body ain't even cold yet. And you lot are here talking about you don't want to see another foreign manager. You'd rather give the job to an Englishman. You had an Englishman. You still, what the fuck? What do you lot want? What is needed? What do you want? I really don't get it. Like I said, I understand the world wars and so on and so forth, and you might even argue with Germany even having ever employed an English manager. But the trick is, it's not about the nationality. It's about, is the person good enough? This is what you tell us all the time. Is the person good enough? It's about the person's ability, not politics. Yeah, because that's what you say, not politics. But it seems like there's a lot of politics involved in everyone's reaction right now. It's about the best man for the job. You gave the job to Sam Allardyce, but Sam Allardyce decided he wanted extra money behind under the table. Yeah. Who remembers that when what newspaper was it? I can't remember what newspaper that exposed him. You've had all of this. It's about the best man for the job, we are told. So for me, I don't particularly support England per se, but for me, I mean, even my national team, Nigeria, we've had plenty of foreign managers. We've plenty. It's about the best man for the job, and that's what it's been about. If Pep was available today, Pep would have been spoken to. I mean, Pep would be the England manager if he wanted to. Let's get it right. If Pep today, even as you've signed Tuchel, if Pep Guardiola today was to say, look, I don't want to coach Manchester City no more, I want to coach England, you would pay off Tuchel his 18-month contract wages and compensation and get Pep in. It's about the best man for the job. And I'm not usually one that agrees with the FA, because I particularly don't like FA. Like I said, the FA usually stands for fuck Arsenal. So I'm not usually defending the FA, but let's have it right here. It's about the best man for the job. And when you have black people like Carlton Cole saying stuff like that, you just have to wonder, like, where's your head at, bro? Like, where's you're sounding like a lot of these guys who wouldn't like to see black people anywhere near the England. Bro, England's first player to represent England as first black, Viv Anderson, in the late 70s, bro. Not long after you was born. That's how recent it's been. And before that, there was a lot of pushback around that. So yeah, let's not do that as the black men or the minority. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're there screaming, oh no, bro. You had Jason Cundy telling you, nah, I'd rather, like, bro. Watching that interview's blow my mind, because you had Jason Cundy, yeah, white brother. Listen, let me not even get into that. Let me stay out of that, because I know people are gonna deliberately misunderstand it. So let me leave that out. But it just didn't sit well as a visual. It didn't sit right morally. Listen, football is an international game. We all know that. Like I said, every transfer window, everyone wants this guy to play for their team. They want that guy to play for their team. They want them, want all make the transfer happen. You want Ronaldinho to play for your team. You want Haaland. You name any player in the world to play for your team, and they're not English. Football's moved on. Football's moved on. You've had Sven. You've had Fabio Capello. You've got Tuchel. It's part of the game. It's part of society. The best man gets the job. That's what we are told all the time. So let's keep to that. Let's keep to that theme. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I hope I made my point clear. If not, I'll be in the comments explaining myself further for those who don't understand. But just to make it clear, it just seems mad hearing Carlton Cole, the man who was given his debut for the England national team by a foreigner. Let's get that right. By a foreigner.